Welcome back to the WHHI-TV Daily News. With me now is Alex Brown. He is, of course, a town councilman and mayor pro tem, and he's here for his monthly update. Always good to see you.
Same here.
So we're going to jump right into it. When the
Sure.
mayor was here last week, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but now you've had a committee meeting, and we're jumping into short-term rentals. And so, obviously, you told me before we started filming it was standing room only.
Yesterday, yes.
And about 4 hours worth of discussion, but kind of we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, well, one thing I've got to say is we appreciate that we're having a qualified conversation. Obviously, there are folks that are in favor of short-term rentals because that is sort of the thrust behind our economy. Okay,
Right,
we
right.
have to rely on the visitor, and when the visitor's here, they have to have somewhere to stay. Of
course.
And of course, you have the other side of the equation, which is the resident,
Right.
particularly in these areas that have short-term rentals, have seen an influx in short-term rentals, and are concerned about their quality of life, right? Of
course.
So we've
Yeah.
got to balance,
Absolutely.
right? And folks showing up and offering their opinions, offering their day-to-day experiences helps us as we move through that balancing act.
Yeah. And you said during the meeting that kind of some of the myths were debunked around the conversation.
Absolutely. You know, there's some stuff that's floating around on social media that, you know, folks may have said during the conversation, but it's not the regulations that we're discussing. For example, there was something about a 2-week minimal for folks that are coming to Hilton Head. Well, we're not deliberating that,
Yes,
okay?
okay.
The things that we're deliberating deal with occupancy, you know, how many folks are going to be in a unit, parking,
Yep.
making sure that folks are parking in the driveways and not
Yeah.
on the side of the streets, not in the grass, and dealing with the fees that are associated with short-term rental properties. Yeah.
And so let's kind of dive a little bit deeper into those three areas.
Okay.
So let's talk first about occupancy. You kind of came to a number which probably is going to be tweaked, but at least it's a place to start the conversation.
Yeah, staff was recommending that we do what we call a 2+2. Okay, so for every bedroom, there's 2 people allowed, and then another 2 people. Okay, so as an example, if we've got a 4-bedroom times 2, that's 8, plus 2, that's 10. So 10 people would be allowed.
Okay.
That's what you would advertise as a short-term rental. Okay, now if you show up with 20 people, then there's an issue,
problem,
right?
right.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, this is going to be during the nighttime hours, so 10 to 6 a.m. Obviously, if you rented a place, I've rented a place, we want to come together, have dinner and whatnot, we can.
Sure.
We may have more than 10 people at the place at that point, but nighttime, bedtime hours.
We're talking people
right.
sleeping there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah. Heads and beds.
There you go. There you go.
And then parking, again, kind of came up with a number, but for some of the larger homes, this might need to be tweaked.
Sure, yeah. So you've got to prescribe to your parking plan that you submit with your permit, okay? And the talk now is to have a maximum of 6, okay? Well, that may not work for some of the bigger homes that may have parking spaces for 8, right?
Right.
So we've got to figure that out. Yeah.
But really, the main point of the parking is that your driveway has to hold the cars of the people that are staying there.
On-site, on-defined parking spaces, not
Right.
on the grass, not in
your
the
neighbor's
streets.
yard.
Right, yes,
Right, okay.
absolutely, yep.
And then the license fee is currently $250. There's talk of raising that depending on how many bedrooms you have.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the proposal is to move to $500 for all units, 1 to 4 bedrooms, and then anything over 4 bedrooms move to $1,000. Okay, we've got to be very careful with that.
Right.
You know, our short-term rental market in 2025, we've saw a decline. Right. We need to be aware of that. Obviously, those fees are going to be passed on to the consumer.
Right.
All right. So we need to make sure that we're being fair about it, number one. But also we need to back into that number. It's going to be more of a staff commitment to manage short-term rentals moving forward, to inspect short-term rentals. So we'll need more staff, more resources. But the number that we're collecting should support the cost involved.
Right.
You
The
know, we're not
increase in
looking to
cost.
make a profit on this.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, backing into that number,
Sure.
but it's a place to start. I mean, so I
Absolutely.
think it's good to have the conversation started. So next week,
Yes.
the conversation continues with a special town council meeting. It's Monday the 13th
1
at
p.m.
1 p.m.
You got it.
Okay, and I'm sure that's going to be standing room only as well.
I'm sure it will. And again, I think we need to understand and make sure that the community knows. Again, there's a lot out on social media, but the town's website has the information that we will be
That is
discussing.
accurate.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
point folks in that direction, and then welcome them to come out on next Monday. You know, we need to hear our voices so that we make qualified decisions here.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great that you're here, the mayor's here. We're actually talking about it.
Right.
It is a conversation that's happening, and things are changing.
Absolutely.
So that's great. Alex, thank you so much for being here,
Thank
as
you.
always. And we'll be right back, so don't go away.